All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are going deep on the journey of personal growth, which, let's be honest, can be pretty brutal. We're pulling some amazing insights from Chris Williamson and Alex Hormozy. So if you've ever felt that weird, stuck feeling, caught between who you are and who you want to be, then yeah, this is for you.
So a lot of us start out with this really simple, really powerful idea, proving someone wrong, right? Maybe it was a bully in school, a rival, maybe even someone in your own family. That little phrase, success is the only revenge, that's the starting line for so many people's ambitions. But here's the thing. What actually happens if you live out that fantasy? You picture yourself at the 10-year reunion confronting that person who doubted you. Well, as one high school teacher explained, it doesn't go how you think. They will be impressed. They'll just look at you with this pity. And in that moment, you're the one who looks like they never moved on. You lose the game right there. And that's when you realize this crucial truth. Chasing revenge, it's a game you just can't win. See, real massive success isn't about proving your haters wrong. It's about winning so big that you completely, and I mean completely, forget they even existed in the first place. Okay, so you let go of that revenge idea. You decide to commit to real growth for its own sake. Well, that's when you step into a brand new phase. It's pretty much unavoidable for anyone who does something big, and it's called the lonely chapter.
So what is this chapter? Well, it's defined by this strange, uncomfortable gap. You've changed so much that you just don't click with your old life anymore, but you haven't quite found your new tribe yet either. You're kind of stuck in this no man's land between your past and your future, and man, it can feel incredibly lonely. And the pull to just go back, oh, it's so strong. I mean, you're trading comfort, you're trading familiarity, your friends, your old routines, for a path that has absolutely zero guarantee of success. You're basically giving up a sure thing for a maybe. And that feeling is just deep, deep uncertainty. It really is like you're doing all the right things. You're putting in the work, but you have no earthly idea if the reward, if that success you're grinding for, is ever actually going to show up. That's one of the hardest parts of this whole thing. Now, this lonely chapter, it's actually part of a much longer, way less glamorous stage. It's the grind. It's the soul-crushing work that happens when nobody, and I mean nobody, is around to cheer you on. This is what we call the boring middle. We all love the training montage in movies, right? It's so inspiring. But in real life, that montage isn't a 90-second clip with awesome music. Nope. It's years of repetitive, exhausting, and frankly, unrewarding work, with no soundtrack and definitely no audience. I mean, think about it. At the very start, everyone cheers for you. It's exciting. You're not a threat to anyone. And then when you finally cross the finish line, they cheer again, because hey, you already won. But the one time you actually need the support, in that grueling, painful middle, that's when you're all on your own. So what does this mean? It means you have to become your own validation. You have to be your own biggest fan. For a long, long time, you might be the only person who even sees the progress you're making. You've got to be that single, slow clap in a totally empty auditorium rooting for yourself. Okay. So to get through this whole lonely journey, you have to make a really deep mental shift. It's about stopping a life where you're seeking everyone else's approval and starting a life where you define your own rules and you play your own game. You basically have to choose your discomfort. You can try to fit in, but that creates this internal conflict, right? Because you're not being true to yourself. Or you can be exceptional, and that creates external conflict because other people will start to see you as different, maybe even as a threat. You don't get to avoid discomfort. That's not an option. You only get to choose which kind you're willing to live with. Is it going to be the quiet pain of conforming, or is it going to be the friction that comes from standing out? Alex Hormozy tells this incredible story about this very thing. He spent years of his life just trying to financially beat his dad, who never approved of him. And when he finally did it, when he finally won, he had this crushing realization. The victory felt totally hollow. Why? Because he'd been playing his father's game the whole time, not his own. He never even stopped to ask what game he actually wanted to win. So, if chasing revenge is a trap, and the middle of the journey is super lonely, and playing by other people's rules is a total distraction, then what's the right way to look at all of this? What's the ultimate perspective?
Well, let's try to put all of this struggle, all this pressure, all this fear into a final perspective. And believe it or not, it all comes down to a single number: 3. In just 3 generations, you, your doubters, and every single person who even remembered that either of you existed will be gone. The opinions that feel so massive and so heavy right now are so incredibly temporary. They're just gonna vanish. And honestly, that's a profoundly liberating thought.
When you really let that sink in, everything becomes crystal clear, doesn't it? The goals, the dreams, the struggle. You just have to do it for yourself. Because at the end of the day, the only person you have to answer to, the only person's game really matters, is you. And here is a fantastic mental tool to get you through those really hard times. Don't think of your struggles as suffering. Think of them as material. See every single challenge, every lonely night, every ounce of doubt as just another chapter in the epic story of your life, a story you're going to tell one day. Because the bigger the dragon, the more epic the story, and the more epic the hero. You are the author of this thing. So when you're stuck in that boring, soul-crushing middle, just remember, you're not just enduring hardship, you're writing the best part of your story. So the only question left is, what kind of story are you going to tell?